Could a massive comet crash into Earth again? Someday, this science fiction scenario could become a devastating reality. Based on data gathered by Dr. Dallas Abbott and calculations performed with the University of Arizona's Impact Effect Calculator program, it might unfold like this. A comet started its journey millions of years ago on the distant edge of our solar system. It is now near Jupiter. The stealthy ancient traveler, awakened by the approaching sun, starts jetting dust and gases from its icy nucleus. It is 4 months away from its target, Earth. 2 a.m. at the Mauna Kea observatories in Hawaii. Astronomers identify the faint optical signature of what may be a new comet. As dim as Comet McNaught's image when it was discovered in 2006. Other astronomers around the world confirm the sighting. It is a new comet, and it is approaching Mars fast. The Minor Planet Center in Cambridge, Massachusetts begins to calculate its orbit. It will take scientists a couple of months or more to determine if it could hit Earth. Near Mars's orbit, the traveler is now a dazzling sight, with a growing tail of light dashing toward Earth at over 50,000 miles per hour. It is confirmed. The object is a long-period comet with a trajectory that will cause it to hit Earth in 30 days. Alerts are sent all over the world, but time is running out. Governments and international space and military organizations scramble to decide on a course of action.
It's technologically much more difficult to deal with a comet than it is an asteroid.
Shooting it down is not an option. It may compound the problem by creating a collection of fragments. Diverting its trajectory with a spacecraft is not possible. There is not enough time to prepare and launch such a mission. Now, about 2 million miles away from Earth, the comet speeds at more than 100,000 miles per hour. Scientists narrow the probable impact zone to an offshore area near San Francisco. The comet is about to collide with our planet's most effective shield, the atmosphere, but it will provide no defense at all.
So a large comet, several miles in diameter, would simply punch right through the atmosphere, and it wouldn't matter that the comet is fragile and underdense and porous.
Bridges and freeways are jammed as a panicked population tries to flee the city, but it is too late. The 3-mile-wide comet hits the Pacific Ocean, 100 miles west of San Francisco. With more than 30 million megatons of energy.
When it impacts the ocean surface, it's going to essentially vaporize the water almost immediately.
The impact unleashes a blast of thermal radiation toward the city.
You're talking about minimum of temperatures around 1500 Kelvin. So anyone who's outside when that event occurs would essentially be vaporized almost.
Wooden structures, dry grass, and brush all ignite in a flash. Flames burst out around the city. As more than 7 million people in the Bay Area are scorched by the lethal heat, a 9.0 earthquake caused by the comet's impact shatters structures and buildings all over San Francisco. The Bay Bridge collapses. The Golden Gate Bridge yields to the inexorable power of nature. Entire districts in the city cave in as the ground liquefies under their foundations. Cracks appear on the ground, transforming the landscape. As the minutes tick by in slow motion, 3-inch fragments of debris from the seafloor pummel the defenseless city. In the midst of chaos and destruction, a moment of eerie silence precedes the sonic bang. The deafening air blast breaks through at more than 4 times the speed of sound, destroying whatever was left standing.
The resulting shock wave and the overpressure produced by that shock wave could lead to the destruction of a vast number of buildings in San Francisco. You're probably looking at most buildings being destroyed.
Glass windows shatter all over the city. Highway truss bridges collapse. Cars and trucks on the roads are tossed about by the high-speed winds. And now, this landscape of utter destruction is about to be washed over. The comet's impact has generated a massive mega tsunami just 100 miles offshore. By the time it hits the coast, the enormous wave swamps the Golden Gate Bridge, crashing into the bay and flooding the city. It also travels west toward Hawaii at more than 500 miles per hour.
More than likely, if this happened in today's world, most of the cities along the ocean would be wiped out.
The city of San Francisco has been annihilated. The comet's impact has sent a plume of water vapor and solid particles into the air, injecting them into the stratosphere more than 9 miles high. Thousands of miles away, fires from impact fragments and torrential rains ravaged lands in South America, Canada, and Eastern Asia. Valleys and lowlands flood, decimating communities and destroying entire regions. The immense amount of water and heat injected into the atmosphere creates storms of biblical proportions.
You could get the formation of a super hurricane. Super hurricane, you can imagine, is like a Category 5, like Katrina, but 100 times worse and maybe 3 times bigger than Katrina. Once that hits a region, it would produce so much rain. You could get like a 1 in a 10,000, 1 in a 100,000 year flood.
But the mayhem is not over yet.
As the plume spreads across the globe, you would get further cooling. This could induce, in some situations, Earth going into a mini ice age. And that would probably be the worst case scenario in terms of long-term climate effects, is a mini ice age.
It would take decades, if not centuries, for the planet to recover from the catastrophic environmental consequences of the impact. As we did 4,800 years ago, humankind would likely survive this global